Very, very happy to be here this morning with you all for the opening of Rivervale CC. It's been a long time since we've had crowds like this, but this is the first time in several years I've had lion dance, kompang, Indian drums, noise, excitement, energy. A very happy time to be together. I'm happy also to see that the facilities are being enjoyed by the residents, and they are here using all sorts of new equipment and services, cooking classes at their culinary studio, preschool classes for the little ones, fitness workouts at the Sports and Fitness Club, F45. And these are all new facilities. I'm glad you find them useful, and I hope that you will also remember how it's changed from the old Rivervale CC at the Block 193 Void Deck. A small but cozy CC frequented by residents, but over time too small because Sengkang's residents' population grew, and so we had to build a new CC, which was why in 2016 we announced plans to build a standalone CC with expanded facilities to offer a wider range of programs. We reached out to many of you, especially those actively using the old CC, to give us ideas and suggestions on how to make the new building more useful for everybody. At that time, Sengkang East was under the PAP. Then in the 2020 general elections, it went to the opposition in Sengkang GRC. But the government remains committed to serving residents here in Sengkang. So work on the CC carried on, because the needs of the residents remain, the needs for a larger community space, for a wider range of facilities and programs. And meanwhile, the PA continued its good work bringing Rivervale residents together and strengthening their community. Whether Sengkang East is in a PAP or in an opposition ward, many activists and volunteers continue to serve on the CCMC and on its subcommittees to organize activities and programs for residents. And we also continue to maintain a full grassroots network to inform residents about government policies, to help vulnerable households through many government assistance schemes, and to gather feedback so that we continue to have a good sense of the ground. Mr. Goh Yao Tin is the grassroots advisor in Sengkang East, in Sengkang GRC, taking charge of the Sengkang East grassroots organizations. Yao Tin served with me for 33 years in Teck Ghee in the grassroots, including for many years as my CCC chairman. He did an outstanding job guiding Teck Ghee through many major projects and programs, including upgrading our CC in Teck Ghee and overseeing many welfare schemes for our residents. So I have every confidence that he will serve residents in Sengkang East well, including providing leadership and guidance on developing Rivervale CC and running its programs, to Kelvin and to the team here. Our CCs are an important part of Singapore's social landscape. They provide shared spaces for community activities and events. They create opportunities for residents from different races and social backgrounds to meet, to interact, to bond. And the CCs are getting better and nicer too. In the early years, our first CCs had very basic facilities, perhaps a single black and white TV in front of an open space, where the kampong people would gather to watch the news or chase the latest primetime drama. Or a few ping pong tables where kids would battle each other as the rain pelted down on the zinc roof overhead. Today, things are quite different. Our homes and living standards are vastly improved. Most of us don't stay in kampongs anymore, but in modern flats. I think there's only one kampong left in Singapore, which is Kampong Buangkok. And residents at home not only have television sets, but also everybody has a smartphone in his hands or her hands. And we no longer huddle in front of a communal TV, except perhaps to join fellow supporters to cheer our favorite football clubs, either Man U or Liverpool. But the need to have common spaces in our society is still there. And that's why we continue to develop our CCs, upgrade the infrastructure, update the programs to meet residents' changing needs. And I'm glad to see that residents here have been actively involved in conceptualizing this new CC and in organizing the activities and, of course, participating in the activities. For example, Madam Ong Swee Chu, who's a volunteer who conducts dance and Qigong exercises in the early mornings and encourages fellow seniors to lead an active and healthy lifestyle. Or Mr. Xavier Ang, who, with his friends, helped to develop a co-working space in Rivervale CC called The Cube, so that young people like him have a conducive space to discuss work and collaborate on projects. And I'm glad that The Cube will be ready by the end of the year. Many other such community-led initiatives have kept our CCs the focal points of the community and fostered engagement among our residents. And in times of crisis, the CCs are also essential as nodes which support the community. For example, during the pandemic, our CCs, our GRLs, our community volunteers were invaluable in our efforts to fight the virus. They helped to distribute masks, hand sanitizers, trace together tokens. They delivered food packs to those isolated at home. They helped residents to apply for financial aid or to seek jobs. And when the vaccines became available, we used many of the CCs as vaccination centers. With the help of the staff and volunteers, we could smoothly execute our national vaccination program. And this was a key factor which enabled us to have one of the highest vaccination rates in the world and transition to living with COVID-19 today. Our CCs throughout the pandemic continue to engage residents and keep the community united. They help seniors make use of technology to stay socially active and connected to their community. They pivoted creatively to online activities. For example, I hear that Rivervale CC conducted a virtual overseas tour to South Korea, which I hear was very well received. Next time I will join the group too. I'd like to thank Sengkang East grassroots leaders, our CC staff, and grassroots volunteers for all their effort and hard work. I should mention Mr. Charles Chong, who was a former advisor who started this new CC project, and Mr. Raymond Lai, who is now the CCC Honorary Chairman, who was previously the CCC Chairman and served for many years, a key figure in Sengkang East under successive grassroots advisors. Also, Mr. Kelvin Ang, who is CCC Chairman now, and Mr. Tang Wing Fei, who is the CCMC Chairman, as well as all the CCC and CCMC members who have the heavy responsibility to plan and organize activities and to serve residents day after day. I hope you will all continue to contribute to our community and that your public spirit and shining example will encourage more people to step forward as volunteers. Let's always make our CCs places where residents feel a sense of belonging and community for one another. So now we're happy we can declare Rivervale CC properly open. Thank you very much.